And now, the hottest and most sensual production in all of horse racing, the Lone Speed Show.
Sponsored by.
Huh? Oh,
Sponsored.
right. Sponsored by BetPTC.com, the hottest ADW on planet Earth.
And the truth is, it may be the hottest ADW anywhere in the universe. I have limited experience dealing with ADWs outside of planet Earth. It wouldn't surprise me if after you got out of, say, the Milky Way galaxy, you found hotter and more sensual ADWs than BetPTC.com. But on planet Earth, BetPTC.com is by far the hottest, and I think you'd agree.
I would agree. That's nothing to shake a stick at. And they were smart to get behind such a successful show like Lone Speed.
A juggernaut, if you will. A horse
Juggernaut.
racing juggernaut.
Dozens of followers already.
Dozens of viewers. You know what? Well, I'll tell you this. The show that has had by far the most viewers is the one that we did, the first one with you. Any show that you're not on has fewer viewers because you are a very, very attractive man, and people like to tune in and watch that. The show we did with Susie when you were in Las Vegas got a lot of viewers.
Yes.
The solo show with just me got like 9 viewers or something absurd like that. It was not very well watched.
There's probably other things happening that weekend. You know, Mickelson was it the Mickelson weekend?
Yeah.
Well, there you go. I mean, everyone's watching Phil Mickelson.
We'll blame it on Phil Mickelson. Brent, I'm glad we're back together again. I want to tell you, though, that I'm taking a mild break from horse racing this weekend. That doesn't mean I won't get my wagers in. We're going to talk about some wagers right here today on the show.
You're going to Gamblers Anonymous?
No, you know what? Here's the thing. I've been having too decent a year, a frustrating year, but too decent to try Gamblers Anonymous. And there's no way I can hit Gamblers Anonymous with the NHC just a matter of 90 days.
That's true. That's true. You'd be just setting yourself up to fall off the wagon.
Exactly. So we'll get to NHC in a minute. But so this weekend, so here's the backstory. For Christmas, I gave the lovely Susie Dew a girls' weekend at the Ritz-Carlton here just south of Orlando. Now, before you say big baller, I used points. So I paid for alcohol and massages. That's it. The weekend at the Ritz was essentially free. So right before Susie and her girlfriend are checking out, this is a couple weeks back, she gets locked in the bathroom. She didn't even lock the door. She goes into the bathroom, does her thing, tries to open the door, get locked in there for 45 minutes. Took them half an hour to even send someone up to rescue her.
Whoa.
15 additional minutes to remove the door. They finally get her out. No trauma, nothing, nothing emotional or anything like that. But she's going to check out, gives her ticket to the valet guy, disappears, 20 minutes, nobody's there. So this is like an hour of wasted time. A manager comes out and says, you know what? We're going to give you all the points back. So all the points.
Whoa.
You believe that at the Ritz-Carlton? All the points that I had to spend on this weekend. So basically her Christmas present cost me almost nothing. I mean, 2 massages, a weekend worth of alcohol. Okay. And they did some drinking. But the point is, the bulk of the expense got refunded to me.
So the moral of the story is lock yourself in the bathroom at the Ritz-Carlton.
Yeah, there you go. So this weekend, Memorial Day, we're using those points plus a few others to do a couple nights at the adjacent property, the JW Marriott down south of Orlando. That's also costing me essentially nothing. Okay. So it's not going to be Justin Dew with his gorgeous wife by the pool and his laptop watching live horse racing. And that's not how I like to roll.
Right.
So I'm taking the weekend off, but for a few strategically placed and timed wagers, which we're going to get to here. So that's going to be the weekend for me.
I like it. Play hard, work hard.
That's what you've got to do. You have to do it that way. So let's get into the NHC. As you know, I'm a double qualifier, which means I got paid for 2 travel reimbursements, about $1,000.
And 2 hotels, 2 hotel rooms?
8 nights instead of 4 nights. That's correct. So
all right. 4 nights for you and 4 nights for your ego, your larger ego, because you're a double.
It's actually like 1 night for me and 7 nights for my ego.
Oh,
if you want to be technical.
Okay.
But yeah, so we're doing 8 nights. So I'm getting to town on the Sunday before the NHC. And we don't check out until Monday, the day after. So that's going to be 8 nights in Vegas for me. I'm normally like a 48, 72 hour guy in Vegas.
We talked about that. You're a sprinter.
You're a 9 consecutive nights.
I am a router. Yes.
Yeah. So you doing 8 nights in Vegas is going to be absolutely nothing for you. You can do that, in your sleep, you might say, although there'd be very little sleep for you. But so I got the $1,000 travel reimbursement, and I, of course, blew that on horse tourneys, trying to win my way into other contests that I eventually just bought my way into. So that was gone. But because I got that $1,000, I felt perfectly justified in buying a first class seat to and from Vegas.
Nice.
Because it was only about an extra $300, maybe $400. So the way I see it is this: in the air on the way to Vegas, that's perfect time to just put on the headphones and start the handicapping process. And what better way to do that than in the comfort of first class?
Sure. Yes.
You are also arriving 8 days in advance.
I am. I will not be flying first class. I'll be probably sitting in front of a screaming child and who's kicking me in the back as I travel. So
that's probably exactly
which is when I do my best handicapping.
The real question is, how do we make best use of our Vegas time in those several days that we have before the NHC starts? So NHC starts. There's going to be pool time. We talked about this on the first show, right? You agree with this?
Absolutely. I'm down for pool time.
What are your thoughts on handicapping by the pool? Is it?
I think that's the only. I mean, that's either in a tub or by a pool is how I handicap. I need water nearby.
So do we bring out the printed past performances and sit in a hot tub sipping drinks as we are handicapping?
There are pictures that my friend Steve DeCaspers have posted of me holding the old school paper racing form, sitting in a hot tub. I just think that's the only way to do it if you're in Vegas.
Yeah,
we can sit around our computers all day in real life, but this is, we got to, and God knows when we get to the NHC, when it actually starts, we won't see light or sunshine or even bathing again after that.
See, I'm gonna maybe take a different position there. As we said on the first episode of the LoneSpeed Show, we know that being in Vegas in August is a very different experience from being in Vegas in February. So I do think there is the option. Plus, it stays brighter later.
That's true.
So I think there will be a little bit more of the Vegas experience. Now, we might knock a lot of that out before the NHC.
Yes.
But you believe it or not, and all the times I've been to Vegas, I've never done a Vegas pool before.
No kidding.
Not once.
Well, we have to fix that. We have to talk to the people at Del Mar to get them to start their card earlier so we can get the heck out of there.
Yeah,
there till midnight.
The potential is there for a very long day because you're looking at post times on the East Coast that would be 9 a.m. Vegas time, and then theoretically, if Del Mar is included in the NHC contest slate, I think on the Friday cards they go kind of later in the evening.
Yes.
So you're talking about the potential for like an 11 or 12-hour day.
I'm hoping the race selectors will pick early races at Del Mar just to spare us at least a little sanity and let us give back to the good, the good organizations in Vegas who want our money.
Yeah, like the poker room.
Yes, the blackjack tables.
Correct.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to it, Brent. We're right around 90 days from the NHC. And if you think about it, none of us we haven't seen, we've seen each other a couple times here and there, but the whole group, Team LoneSpeed, we haven't been all together as one since last February.
Yes, it's been quite a while.
There's a Hawthorne contest in July that I'm going to. I think I saw some.
I may hit that myself. Yes.
Yeah, I think we have to. The Hawthorne contests are the best. I mean, they're absolutely the best. Brent, let's get into a really quick topic. I want to touch on the LoneSpeed Spotlight horse today, Friday. We're recording this Friday morning. Runs later today at Belmont Race 8 Classic Colors. I don't know if you got a chance to see the video I made on this horse, but this is a filly that I think is a future stakes winner. She's a New York bred. She's owned by West Point Thoroughbreds. She's won her last 2. On Buyer speed figures, there are other 3-year-old fillies that are much faster. Okay. But I think the best is yet to come with Classic Colors. And I would urge anyone watching this, if you didn't see the first video, check out Belmont Park today, Friday, race 8, number 11, Classic Colors, 4-1 on the morning line. This horse came to my attention last August. I bet her at 18-1 that day. She missed the break. She was 8 or 10 lengths behind the field very early, came flying late, finished third, almost won, a little more ground than she would have. She has been perfect since. Straight as an arrow in the lane. Classic colors, is the LoneSpeed Spotlight horse for Friday. And I know, Brent, you are going to be wagering heavily on classic colors.
Thousands of dollars.
Perhaps tens of thousands. I mean, you're a high roller. Are we talking
I know.
tens of thousands?
Yeah, I might. I think you sold me. I did not watch your video because I typically don't watch your videos because I watch enough of you when we're doing this together. So
I know.
But now I know.
You can only take so much of me. I'm
Yeah.
not even gonna argue with you about that. So let's get into the two races that I think we are going to talk about this weekend. They're at Churchill Downs on Saturday, races 8 and 9. Race 8 is the Grade 3 Regret Stakes for 3-year-old fillies on the turf. And race 9 is the Grade 3 Matt Wynn Stakes for 3-year-old boys on the dirt going a mile and a 16th. Now, side note, I just checked the weather forecast for Louisville as we were getting the sound right for this. And they're off the turf today, Friday, at Churchill Downs. And there's a lot of rain in the forecast for the rest of the day. I'm already a little nervous about the Saturday card at Churchill Downs. They've got 4 races scheduled for the grass, including 3 stakes races. So I'm hopeful, and it's reasonable that they may try. Well, we know they'll try everything in their power to keep the races on the grass. But the handicapping and the analysis we're about to do right now, Brent, I hope it's not all for naught, because I really hope the Regret stays on the grass.
That would be ideal. So who do you like? I'll let you go first.
Okay. So I'm very familiar with these horses. As you may remember, in the Grade 3 Regret, which is race 8, Churchill Downs on Saturday, number 7, Gam's Mission, was the LoneSpeed play of the day on May the 8th. That's 3 weeks ago. And she was a winner at almost 8-1. I think you remember that, Brent, because I think I bragged pretty heavily on the LoneSpeed
prior to. And I did have money on that, I think.
Well, so I used Gam's Mission as my play in the Bet PTC Cash is King contest.
Oh.
Winner. And that is why I was the week 1 winner of the Bet PTC contest, Cash is King. And I'm still tied for the lead in segment 1. If you haven't signed up yet, go to lonespeed.com, click on the link at the top of the page, sign up for betptc.com, and then enter the Cash is King contest. There's no reason you can't enter late. You're not at any disadvantage effectively. It is the best cash contest in the contest space, and they're giving away a seat to the Breeders' Cup Betting Challenge, which, Brent, as you know, costs $10,000.
That is nothing to shake a stick at. Now, would our dozens of viewers know the format of the contest? Should we tell them about that?
The bottom line is you pay the $75 entry fee, and then on Saturdays, and Saturdays only, you have to bet $200. You designate it as a contest wager. You can bet more than $200 if you want, but all you have to do is bet $200. And whoever has the highest ROI, return on investment, from whatever it is they bet that day, whether it's just $200 or whether it's $3,000, wins the week. I'll let people go online and read the rules, but the bottom line is you can get points for having as little as a 35% positive ROI. And points are valuable. People need to go online and read the rules. They're not complicated rules, but there are some rules you need to know about. It's a great format. It only costs $75 to enter, and you're betting on Saturdays anyway. Just designate a contest wager and take your swings. It's a great contest.
Nice.
And I know you will, well, as we have discussed, Bet PTC currently not available in your home state of North Carolina.
No.
But we're very hopeful that will be changing soon. Some big
God
things
willing.
happening at Bet PTC.
Yes.
And anyway, so let's get into the 2 Saturday races we are discussing at Churchill Downs, the race 8, the Grade 3 Regret. So we touched on Gam's Mission already. I think she's very live in here. I think the horse that finished second, beating the neck to Gam's Mission in that May 8th race, number 8, Flown, is also very live. In my opinion, those are the 2 best closers in the field. I think they are the ones that are, and I'm not just saying this because I picked Gam's Mission and I have some kind of allegiance to her. I play horses and then get off of them all the time. I like them both a lot. I think Spanish Love Affair is the obvious horse in here. I think she's going to be on the front. You can totally draw a line through her race in the Appalachian at Keeneland on April 3rd. Terrible start, was never in contention there. It's the perfect example of when, as a handicapper, you can draw a line through a race. So we're drawing a line through it here. I think as they turn for home, Spanish Love Affair is on the lead. And the question is, can either Gam's Mission or Flown run her down? And I am going to bet that yes, one of the two of them will. But for double plays, I'm going to play all three of them into the double in the Matt win. We'll get to that race in a minute. I'll talk about my horse there, Brent. Where did you land in the grade 3 regret?
We talked about that. I also like Spanish Love Affair, but I sort of settled on my number one choice is Oyster Box, breaking from the rail. I like the running style. I think it'd be a little closer than based on the last race at Aqueduct 8th. I think his running style is going to be a little closer than Spanish Love Affair, and I think he's going to be closing at the end and just run right by him. That's my play.
Okay.
Bullet Workout May 2nd. Yeah, I looked around a lot, and I just think that he's kind of moving in the right direction. I kind of thought he kind of took a little step back, in that race at Aqueduct. I seemed like he went, it says, 3-4 wide. I didn't watch the race, but it seems like he went wide. So maybe he had a rough trip. I don't know. You would know better than me, but it looks like he made his move a little too early. And I think maybe if we time that move a little better this time, maybe, he'll cross the finish line first.
Yeah, she came from out of it in the Florida Oaks
said he, yeah.
there at 2 starts back. I watched that, and I did take a look at Oyster Box, my final decision on her was that she really didn't have much excuse for not being closer at the end of the Florida Oaks. I mean, she did make up ground late, but she was really never a threat to Jouster or Domain Expertise, the winner that day. And yeah, if I was going 4 deep in here, I think she would be my 4th pick.
Mm-hmm.
I did give her a long look, but ultimately she didn't make the cut for me. I landed on 4 Spanish Love Affair, 7 Gam's Mission, and 8 Flown.
And Toss, you didn't like Barista.
I mean, I gave Barista a look. I don't think she's as good as the other 2, quite frankly.
Yeah.
She came out of that race on Oaks Day, the Edgewood, and she certainly didn't run badly. I was actually on Line Dancing that day, who is back in here again today. I don't think either of them, even though they have stakes experience, I don't put either of them on the same level as Gam. I was really impressed by Gam's Mission's win on May 8th, and not just because I bet her. She came between horses, and it looked like those other 2, including Flown, were getting to her late. But if you watch the gallop out, she kind of took off again. I think they could have gone around the track again, and I don't think they would have gotten to Gam's Mission. And so far, the only filly to beat Gam's Mission is Aunt Pearl, who did not run so great in the Edgewood there on Oaks Day, but she was division champion last year, Breeders' Cup champion last year. So I think Gam's Mission is, I predicted when I picked her that she was a future stakes winner. I didn't really think they'd get to a stakes company this quickly, but I like Gam's Mission a lot. And if I end up making a win bet in here, maybe I will, maybe I won't. It will be on Gam's Mission. Why don't you go first in race 9, the Matt win?
Yeah. So in the win, I mean, we've got, a bunch of horses that are coming out of the Derby. It's hard to argue with Obesos. I mean, if you just look at who he's raced Midnight Bourbon, Mandaloon, Hot Rod Charlie, and raced competitively against them. The only thing to fault is, will there be pace, because he tends to come from out of it a little bit. So he will be coming from the clouds, in my opinion. And I think if he gets some pace to run at, he will probably end up winning the race. However, Helium I think he'll be very close to the pace. So I think he may even be on the pace. And the other option I thought as a horse that could maybe steal is Ready to Pounce. Very lightly raced. I hate horses that are, lightly raced that are breaking from the one hole. We all know about that whole curse. But I think that I like to be an optimist. And I thought maybe if Helium doesn't absolutely go to the lead. Now he broke from the 12 and the 10 last time, so he didn't really even have an option to get to the lead. So if he's on the rail now, so maybe to stay out of trouble, he'll break fast, but I'm hoping that I can steal it with Ready to Pounce, but I'll back it up with Obesos just in case. So
okay, so I looked at Ready to Pounce and gave that one serious consideration, and I would not talk anyone off of that horse, because the win at Keeneland, where you're in the 86 buyer, and I talk about buyers in every video I do. I don't mean to suggest that they are the definitive final answer on a horse's overall ability, but he did put up an 86 buyer in a race that was off the turf. To me, that was kind of the tiebreaker for him. I was yes or no, yes or no. I said, what, I think he probably beat horses in there that were expecting to run on the grass. It was a good effort. it would not shock me in the slightest if he won.
The other thing, real quick, I forgot to mention too. I mean, he won that race by 4 lengths, so obviously he wasn't in high gear in the last few strides. Maybe he runs an 88, 89 if he is 90. Who knows?
Yeah, and the question would be, would that be good enough to win? I think if you look at the 3 logical horses, the 3 horses in here that will vie for favoritism: number 2, Helium; number 3, Obesos; number 5, Folsom. It's really hard to make a strong case against any of them. They are the 3 most likely winners in here. The wagering will reflect that. I would have a hard time differentiating among the 3 of them. If you told me to pick one of the 3, I'd probably end up just pulling a name out of the hat, quite frankly. Going to the Derby, I thought Obesos was a sucker bet, and he did end up 5th, so he kind of proved me wrong, but kind of didn't. He didn't win. Helium, I was never all that high on, but his win in the Tampa Bay Derby off that long layoff was impressive, even if you don't think he beat that much. So, he's solid. And then Folsom, the last 2 tries on dirt were his first 2 tries on dirt. He'd been running on turf before then, and he won them both, and gets Florent Giroux for Brad Cox. That horse would not be a surprise. The horse that I landed on, it is a horse that I've played before, and he frustrates me every time. I sometimes I'm good at learning lessons quickly. Sometimes I don't learn my lessons so quickly. I'm talking about number 7, Sitting on Go. And there's a major angle here for me, which fans of the LoneSpeed Show and people who follow me on social media won't be surprised to hear. It's Lannery off. I'm very critical of Corey Lannery. He has cost me considerable amounts of money in the last several months. And I frankly just think he is not a very creative rider. I don't think he can be counted on to get horses out of trouble. Not that Sitting on Go has found a whole lot of trouble throughout his career. There's been some here and there, but this is why I'm looking at Sitting on Go. I went back and I watched the Pat Day Mile on Derby Day, the 1-turn Pat Day Mile. And they went lightning fast in there early, under 44 seconds for a half mile. And Sitting on Go was completely out of it. He was completely out of it. So it's not surprising, given those fractions, that he closed ground late and ended up 5th in a field of 11. But the track was like pavement that day. I think those fractions are maybe a little bit influenced by the track condition. In fact, they were a lot influenced by the track condition. The winner, Jackie's Warrior, went blazing fast early and hung on to win. A 16th of a mile past the wire, Sitting on Go and galloped out past all of them. What I'm wondering is if the light bulb has finally gone on for Sitting on Go. He won on the previous Derby Day, the September Derby Day last year, when he won the Grade 3 Iroquois by 2 lengths. And he looked like someone that was going to be a major threat in the 3-year-old division. And it just didn't happen. They gave him every chance to prove himself, and he's done absolutely nothing since that win last September. So for me, the fact that he looked a little bit more interested and a little more sure of himself late in the Pat Day Mile says to me, okay, maybe, just maybe, he has finally figured out what he's supposed to be doing, and he's going to be a good price given those top 3 in here. So I landed on number 7, Sitting on Go. What say you, Brent Schraff?
I will be sitting on, I'll be ready to pounce. I will be taking the bomb on that one. But I do think I don't have a whole lot of trouble differentiating. I really think Obesos is the best of the 3 favorites. I think the Louisiana Derby was the toughest prep to go with the horses coming out of that. So I will be, if I back up at all, it will be to cover with Obesos. So.
Okay. Yeah, I would just say, I would urge people watching this, just give one more look to Sitting on Go. You've probably already given him several looks throughout his career.
You're more forgiving than most, given your story, the story you just told.
You're not wrong. Okay, I know why you're saying that, and to me, it's not necessarily about forgiving efforts, because if you go back and watch his replays, there's the occasional stumble, the occasional outside trip, etc. So yeah, but for me, he's regardless, irrespective of the trips he's had, he's been a disappointment. And I think that Saturday may finally be the day. So those are our plays. I'm probably playing a double of my 3 and the regret into Sitting on Go. That'll be it for me. And then Brent,
I'll be playing the Snake Eyes double 1-1.
Oh my goodness, that's dangerous. You're going to get paid if you hit. I mean, you're absolutely.
Oh yes.
you're going to get paid in a big, big way. You got plans for Memorial Day weekend, Brent?
No, my daughter is just getting over the COVID, so we're just getting back to normal here. So we'll be just we opened up the pool and we'll be sitting poolside, maybe with a few drinks. I've got a round of golf scheduled for Saturday, so it will be playing a few horses in between and just enjoying the weekend.
You've got
Not enjoying it like you.
You've got 2 COVID strikes. That's both of your kids that have had COVID.
I've had 2 COVIDs plus me. That's 3.
3.
Yes.
3 for 3. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. My family's had it here and there, an extended family. I've avoided it. My kids, we think have avoided it. My oldest daughter may have had it. The symptoms weren't that bad. Never got it tested, but we think she probably had it too. There is no Monday racing at Indiana Grand, which means our planned Monday night Bet PTC rebate pick 3 of the week can't happen. So you and I will come back early next week, Brent, with another Bet PTC rebate play.
With more wisdom to share.
More wisdom to share, more ways to tell people to bet. Good luck to you this weekend, Brent.
You too.
Have fun. Get through Memorial Day weekend safely. Best of luck in whatever contest you play or whatever wagers you make. And we'll see if our LoneSpeed fans can come away with a few extra bucks by following our advice.
Here's hoping. All right. Good Memorial Day to you, sir.
See you, brother.
Bye.